call the meeting to order. We're actually after a start time, so I think we waited long enough. Is there a motion from the town committee members to accept the call of the meeting? Motion made by Mr. Golantino, seconded by Mr. Anders. All those in favor of accepting the call?
Aye.
Opposed, seeing none, the motion carries. Mr. Secretary, could you call the roll, please?
Silva, Linda. Here. Anders. Here. Furtado. Bogus. Here. Gallo. Here. Gucker.
Will Riley.
Rapp. Here. Ward. Almeida. Yep. Taylor. Kayback. Lori. Earl. Schlemmer.
Father's in the hospital, she may be late.
Sadi. Tiras. Kessler.
At the hospital dialysis, he may be late.
De Silva Joe.
Present.
Are you? Williams.
Working.
Lewis. Aguantino. Chase. Rodriguez. Kayback Richard. Present. Armstrong.
Away.
Milan. White. And Kushner.
Krishna will be late. And Billy Taylor's out. Sorry. Thank you. I'd like to thank everybody, just preliminary as a housekeeping, I want to thank everybody for coming tonight. It's obviously an important night when you're nominating people for office. Obviously, this is not going to be the best of nomination evenings. We have a great ticket. I obviously would prefer to be announcing and introducing a great candidate for mayor. Can't do that. We don't have that. Anybody in this room, if you'd like to volunteer, please feel free to stand up now. Be recognized. That said, somebody raised the question under the circumstances, why do we do this? And we do it because it's important. And we're here because though it might not be a guaranteed win, and though it might be a lot of work, we do it because it's important. And it's important because we're Democrats and we stand for certain things. We stand with women when Republican governors all across the country attack women's right to choose, or attack a person's access to contraception. We stand with people when states decide that vigilantism is okay, or it is proper for anyone to have an assault weapon just because they want to. Those things are important, and those things obviously are in the purview of the city's zoning commission, the Board of Education, we know that. But we know that a good society starts with a good education. And we know that a good community starts with good zoning. But more importantly, we know that when we address those issues, starting at the local level, it permeates up. And that's why we're here, and that's why everybody in this room is doing what they do. With no further ado, I'd like to call on Sue Ward, who will make our first nomination for the office of councilman.
I'd like to introduce you to a woman I've had the pleasure of knowing for over 25 years, Lori Kayback. I've always known her to be an incredibly dedicated and hardworking woman, whether it was in an office setting or raising her son. Lori comes from a family that has dedicated their lives to public service in the city of Danbury. Father was a lifelong educator, and her mother is a retired public and private school nurse. Lori has gone on to follow family tradition by serving the city of Danbury as town clerk since 2005. She is Danbury's first officially certified Connecticut town clerk. Lori has great respect for the position she holds, and she takes pride in her office as well as her staff. Lori's involvement in her community extends beyond her office with her active participation in various Danbury organizations. She's a member of the Lions Club, St. George's Church, the Lebanon Ladies Auxiliary Club, and the Danbury Democratic Town Committee. I'm so proud and honored to nominate this outstanding woman, Lori Kayback, to serve for 50 years as Danbury's town clerk.
Though not technically required, we will obviously entertain anyone for a second. Rich?
Good evening. I would like to second the nomination of Lori Kayback for the office of town clerk. Thank you.
Lauren has told me that her speech might actually be shorter than that, so. Are there any other nominations for the office of town clerk? Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations?
Nominations be closed.
There's a motion made to close nominations. Is there a second for that motion? Motion made by Mr. Sadi, second by Mr. Gallo. All those in favor of closing nominations?
Aye.
Opposed? Seeing none, the ayes have it. All those in favor of the nomination of Lori Kaybeck to be our candidate for town clerk? signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Seeing none, the motion carries. Lori, congratulations.
Thank you to Susan and Richard and the town committee for the nomination. I would like to thank you for placing your confidence in me again for the office of the town clerk. I truly love my job as town clerk, and I strive on a regular basis to continue to move the office forward in keeping with the ever-changing laws and requirements of the job. I have heard several compliments from many citizens and colleagues regarding the town clerk's office. I am honored to continue to represent this party. With your nomination and win, I will continue this journey to make Danbury proud. Thank you.
Thank you, Lori. Professionally, as an attorney, I can tell you we spent a lot of time in a lot of town clerks' offices, and there are a few that do as good a job as Lori, and none do it better. I'd like to recognize Zach Rapp for a nomination in Common Council at Large candidates.
It is my honor to nominate for City Council at Large, Al Almeida, Franklin Anders, Andrea Gardner, Henry Hall, Paul McAllister, Deb Patel, and Robert Taberstack.
Thank you, Zach. Though under Robert's rules, a second is not technically required, is there a second for that nomination? Motion made and seconded. Are there any other nominations for Common Council at Large? Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Nominations are closed. All those in favor of the slate as read by Mr. Rapp for the nomination for Council at Large, Almeida, Anders, Gardner, Hall, McAllister, Patel, and Taberstack, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Seeing none, the motion carries. Congratulations. Could those members of the town who was nominated? Now entertain a nomination for the Common Council in the First Ward. Frank Anders.
I nominate Dennis Perkins and Richard Kovacs to be our candidates to represent the First Ward on the Danbury City Council.
Thank you, Frank. A second not technically be required, but I'll entertain a second as well. Linda? Motion made by Mr. Anderson, nomination made by Mr. Anderson, seconded by Mr. Silver. First Ward members, all those in favor?
Aye.
First Ward member? Opposed, seeing none, the motion carries. Dennis and Rich, could you stand up? Entertain a motion for nomination for the Common Council in the Second Ward. Bernie Gallo? You can do it from your seats, do it from wherever you're coming. Do the best thing.
It's a great pleasure to place a nomination in names of Marina Brontes and Billy Taylor, council members.
Members of the Second Ward, is there a second to that nomination? Made by Gallo, seconded by Rapp. Second Ward Town Committee members, all those in favor? Opposed, seeing none, the motion carries. Helena needs someone to Billy apologized. He had plans with friends out of town today, so he unfortunately couldn't be here. Third Ward, is there a nomination in the Third Ward for the Common Council? No. We'll go on to the Fourth Ward. Alice? motion made to nominate our incumbents, Tom Sadi and Peter Nero. Member of the fourth ward wish to second that nomination? Frank?
I'd like to second the nomination for Tom Sadi and Peter Nero. They've done outstanding work over the years, and I know they're support.
Fourth ward town committee members, are there any other nominations? Seeing none, all those in favor of Sadi and Nero as the nominees of the fourth ward members?
Aye.
Motion carries. Opposed? Seeing none, the motion carries. Tom and Peter obviously do not really need to be. I'll turn down the chair to Zach Rapp for purposes of a nomination in the fifth ward.
Recognize Chairman De Silva.
Thank you, and I nominate Fred Visconti and Dwayne Perkins to run for re-election in the fifth ward.
Seeing as we technically don't need a second.
Aye. Aye.
Okay.
Fred? Where are you? Wave. Say hi. Is he here? We'll introduce Wayne when you're up. Sixth Ward Common Council. Sixth Ward Town Committee Member, John Valentino.
Yes, I'd like to nominate Ben Chinese, Paul Rotella for another term. The longtime council people have done an excellent job.
Member of the Sixth Ward Town Committee wish to second that nomination.
Second.
Motion made by Valentino, seconded by Rich Kavak. Sixth Ward Town Committee members, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Seeing none, the motion carries. Congratulations, Paul and Ben, please stand up. And it's my understanding we do not have candidates in the seventh ward this evening. We are going to have candidates tonight in the seventh ward. Specifically, Teresa Buzet, who served for many years on the zoning commission, whose husband was a member of the city council at one point, was going to run for the city council in the seventh ward. Unfortunately, her mom had a stroke last evening, so she's obviously needs to concentrate on family. Family comes first. Do me a favor, though, keep her in your prayers and keep her mom in your prayers. Hopefully she'll be okay. It's obviously too soon to tell today exactly what's going on. On that note, we'll move on to nominations for the Board of Education. Bring out. Yes.
I'd like to place 3 names up for nomination of the Board of Education. Richard Janelli, Kathleen Molinaro, Mara Alvarado.
Is there a second for the nomination of the Board of Education? Second by Almeida. Are there any other nominations for the Board of Education? Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Seeing none, nominations are closed. All those in favor of approving the Board of Ed nominees as read by Mr. Gallo, Molinaro, Janelli, and Oliveira, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Seeing none, the motion carries. Entertain a motion for nominations to this. Oh, I'm sorry, my apologies. Board of Education, Kathy and Rich, please stand up. I lost you. Entertain a motion for nomination for candidates to the Zoning Commission. Rich Kavak.
I have the following names for zoning: Ken Gucker, Theodore Haddad Jr., Richard Jowdy, James Kelly.
Motion made for zoning, nominate candidates for zoning, Jowdy, Haddad, Kelly, and Gucker. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made and seconded by Mr. Sadi. Are there any other nominations for the zoning commission? Any other nominations? Any other nominations? Nominations are closed. All those in favor of Jowdy, Haddad, Kelly, and Gucker for the zoning commission, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Seeing none, the motion carries. By the way, Ken Gucker was really running. He didn't just get on that ticket because he's running late. Is there a nomination for zoning alternate?
For zoning alternate, I would like to nominate William Tanner.
There's a motion made and seconded to nominate William Tanner to run for zoning alternate. Seeing as there's no other nominations, all those in favor of William Tanner to be our candidate for zoning alternate, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Seeing none, the motion carries. You may not oppose your own nomination. There are motion to nominate candidates for constable. Al Almeida.
Yes, I would like to nominate, I didn't have my glasses, so Emil Colarossi, Francis Karras, and Bruce Lees.
The motion made to nominate Emil Caladarchi, Butch Caladarchi, Frank Karras, and Bruce Lees for constable. Seconded by Mr. Kabak. Are there any other nominations for constable? Any other nominations for constable? Any other nominations for constable? The nominations are closed. All those in favor of Caladarchi, Karras, and Lees for constable, saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Seeing none, the motion carries. Yeah, zoning and zoning alternate, please everybody stand. I wanted to do them together. We'll recognize Ken when he gets here. He texted me a little while ago, said he's running late. Are there any other nominations to come before the body? Constables, please stand up. I'm sorry, Frank, Bush. Please apologize, he had to work this evening, so he couldn't be here. Are there any other nominations to come before the convention, either for mayor, for treasurer, for 3rd Ward or 7th Ward Town Committee, Common Council? On a closing note, at the request of the town committee, is there any other comment, question, or business to come before the body? Seeing none, I will entertain a motion to adjourn in one moment. Candidates who are in the room, do not leave. There's paperwork you have to fill out before you leave. If it doesn't get filled out and filed in the next 10 days, bad things happen to you. Turn into a pumpkin. I'm kidding. But candidates don't leave, and everybody is invited to go to the Atlantic tonight. Elena has graciously invited us over. Food is on the town committee. Your cocktails are on you, but the food is on the town committee. Come over and have some good food, hang out, and enjoy. I want to thank everybody for coming tonight, and I certainly want to thank all of the candidates for being willing to put their names forward. Candidates, again, don't leave, do the paperwork, and stick around. We're going to have a photographer here shortly to take pictures for candidates for our brochure. If you don't get it done tonight, it's not the end of the world. We can do it another night, but we'd rather get as many done tonight as we can. Questions? I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Motion made by Mr. Jowdy, Mr. Sadi, seconded by Mr. Karras. All those in favor of adjourning? Opposed? Seeing none, the motion carries.